All right, yogis, let's start in a seated position on the center of your mat. If you guys are comfortable to sit in this called Vira or Vajrasana, you start sitting on your heels like this or on a block. All right, because we're going to start with a specific core breathing exercise today. Okay, so top of the feet are down, either on the heels or on the block. Okay, sit up nice and tall here. Take a few deep breaths into the abdomen, to the chest to start. So remember, this class can get pretty fitnessy. Let's do some, traditional yoga here to start with some breathing, meditative position. Pull your head back, roll your shoulders back and down. Try to notice if you round or lean forward. Stack the shoulders over the hips, the head over the spine. Lift the crown up. A couple really deep breaths in and out the nose. All right, yogis, so you're doing some deep breathing in and out your nose, maybe even adding a breath hold, trying to bring the breath into the spaces we normally don't, abdomen, side bodies, even back, lower back, middle back, upper back. And we're going to start with what's called the Kapalabhati. Now, if we do this at the end of class, you can be a little bit more aggressive, but think of a rhythmic pumping exhale. Inhale happens naturally, like a spring reloading, okay? So to start, it's usually out the mouth. You can do it out the nose if you're ready, but again, it's a pumping exhale out of the mouth. And as you exhale, the abdomen strikes against the spine, okay? So at your pace, you'll take a big inhale. You're going to exhale about halfway, and then pump the exhale. Remember, if you can't continue, it means you're doing it too aggressive or stressful. It doesn't have to be too strong, yogis, to be good for you. Especially earlier in class, you have to be lighter about it, okay? So you do another 20 seconds here if you can. You try for about 30 to 60 seconds on your first round. You're pumping your exhale. It's not breath of fire. It's called the skull cleansing breath, okay? Take a big inhale now. Hold your breath at the top. And then exhale. One more round of our Kapalabhati. It should be very abdominal, okay? Big inhale. And you're going to exhale about a third, halfway, and then it is work, yogis, right? To continue that exhale. It's not easy. And the abdomen is, the navel is pulling in against the spine on every exhale, okay? So you should feel your abdominals working, a lot of pulsing in the abs, okay? It's not easy. And a beginner, you might not be able to do this for 20 seconds, all right? But you're trying to find a way to make it easier, rhythmic, so you can continue. Last few moments. Big inhale. Hold the breath. Squeeze your pelvic floor. Pull the belly in. Head back. Chin up. Tucked. And exhale. Slowly swing your legs around, seated position. You can shake your legs out. Think of a warm-up, moving the body in lighter waves. Sukhasana, cross your shins. The Sufi Roll, let's get the core moving a little bit more. So I'm bringing the chest down to the side, a little bit back, all right? So let's take about 10 to 20 in this direction. Okay, move that core here. Use your hands on the floor on your shins. As I go back, I usually put my hands on my shins so I can get a little back bend, spinal extension. And as I go to the side, I might place a hand down, lateral flexion. As I go forward, both hands might be down, all right? So I'm circling from the core. You can also do a little bit like this, where the head is staying upright. Let's just do a few more in this direction, and then you'll switch directions. So a little bit softer warm up here. Remember, we can't just do things that like tighten our core. We have to make sure our core is freely movable. If we tighten all the muscles in the core, you can restrict the movement of the spine, and then you get the fascial hardening around the spine, and the stabilizers get all tight. So we gotta have these days where we are like moving a little bit more, especially in the beginning, all right? So you make sure you switch directions. Last few moments in the Sufi Roll. Again, there's two options where the head is kind of the lead of the big circle, or the head is kind of more still and the core is moving more. So a subtle difference, but they are pretty different. Okay, now, next movement, I go right into it. Your leg's gonna go wide. I want you to start slow here, okay? You're gonna start to turn a little bit over the legs. You see, I'm more flexible than this, but it's warm up. So I'm not forcing anything. My hands framing the foot, and I'm starting to gently go over the leg, forward folding. It is a little twist. And you know, it can be a lot slower, yogis, and it can be a lot faster. I worked out really strong the last 2 days, like really hard, and I worked a lot as well. So really, I'm tight and feeling, I slept in today, I needed it. So I'm feeling a little tight. So I'm taking it easy. Now listen, now it's the side bend, same things, legs wide, and I'm going up and over with the arms. Okay, I'm not really going forward anymore, I'm going to the side. Let's move that core a lot more than we normally do to start here, yogis. Next thing we're going to do is rotate the core more and rotate the hips, so we call it the floss. You're looking at like, you know, I like to get to 15 to 20 per side, so we're really getting the movement going. As you get more warmed up, you know you can go a little deeper. Oh yeah, it's a good one. I keep moving through the movements, all right? You pace it out. The next one is the one, we've done this before. The feet are wide but bent, and it starts a little bit easier without the spine. You're kind of here. Totally hips at this moment. Big rotation of the hips. And then you start to turn a little bit. As the knee's not right, left hand goes outside the right knee. And then I'm kind of back through center. You know, in a lot of the modern kind of fitness, this is some of the, it really is a little bit more for like a healing day, but you know, in a warm-up, you floss those hips in rotation, spinal rotation. So let's do a few more. Again, as you get into it more, you can reach that arm further, taking that stretch, reaching that right arm back and across. All right, yogis, I want you to take your time. Let's meet in the table facing forward now. Now this is the hip thrust. If this is too much for you, you do what you lay on your back and you do your bridges. Same exercise pretty much, all right? Feet wide, hands behind you forward. We're gonna take a nice inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, just tap the butt. Make sure you're squeezing your fingers, pressing the big toe down. So I'm gonna tap the butt. Excuse me, you inhale down, you exhale up. You should feel your butt working, whether you're doing the bridge or the table. If you're doing the table, you're gonna get your arms way more, all right? It's okay, depends on how you feel. Okay, listen, lay on your back. Let's keep it going. Let's do a couple of these little closed chain crunches. If you want to block between your thighs, that's good stuff too, okay? You're gonna inhale, reach your arms back, press your lower back down, exhale, do a little crunch. Inhale, exhale. Notice I do a pause. I can even do a little pulse if I want. It's not supposed to be your strongest ab thing just yet, okay? So I think I saw someone get kicked out. If you missed, we did the bridges or the reverse table thrusts to really get our glutes. We also did the rotational hips and spine, the floss where we're upright and the knees are knocking side to side. And then you did the bridges or the hip thrust. Just in case you missed anything, you can throw those in there now, but no big deal if you do miss something. We're pretty well rounded. So you're doing your little closed chain crunches. Now, I want to get those legs moving even more now, guys. So you can either keep your head and arms down, or if you're feeling good, you go here, you bring your legs up. Easier is here. Okay, stronger here. Okay, we're just gonna move those legs a lot for now. Lower back down. Just to move a little bit faster, right? Sometimes we're moving really slow. I'm getting you moving to start the practice today. Nice. All right, now I want you to take your time. You bring your knees into your chest. We're gonna do another thing of abs later, so that was just a couple warm up there. Let's take a quick warm up stretch. Twist, knees in the chest over to the right. I'm just gonna give you 2 breaths, guys. So you take longer if you need. With all regulars, I just expect you to adapt the practice to what you need. Which means your intermediates at least, right? We'll come back to center, over to the left. Just a breath or 2 into the lower back. Okay, we'll come back to center, quick happy baby if you'd like. So you get those first kind of stretches. You know, happy baby's kind of like a lizard or a yogi squat in a sense. And then obviously the twist, opening up the rotational body, the hips more. When you're done there, yogis, let's rock forward and back and make our way up. Take a few extra of these if it feels good. Eventually, let's bring it to tabletop. You might want a couple cat-cows here, up to you. We didn't really do anything directly like that. If you want to go stronger cat-cow, tuck your toes, hover your knees. We've been working this one in this week. We're the active cat-cow, so it would be like your first plank with some movement.
And then, you'll make your way to your down dog. So first dog here, pedal your feet out a little bit. You know what to do. Good minute here if you can. I want to see the head get low and work the blood flow into the brain, the breath. Okay, last good 20 seconds here. So it's really that big, for a lot of us, the first weight bearing on the arms. Some of us did the table, but you got to start to really stimulate the weight in the arms. Okay. So we're going to do another one right in a row. High plank position. Make your way there when you're ready. Remember, you can drop to your knees on a day where you're not feeling 100%. But if you're feeling really good, you stay here. If you're feeling excellent, you could hover your right foot here, bring your right knee into your right armpit, shoot the right foot back, put it down, hover your left foot. Remember, options, yogis. Middle ground, hold plank, lighter, plank on your knees. Stronger, you're kind of hovering a foot, bringing it to that same side, elbow, tricep, and then you're shooting it back, and then you're going to do your second side. And so it's a little bit more of that like knee into the chest, elbow area. So there's 3 levels for you. Last few moments in your plank. Kind of like a slow mountain climber, if you know that exercise. I think we did that 1 or 2 weeks ago. I actually did the mountain climbers, the kind of fast knee to elbows here. It's almost like you're running in your plank. All right, nice job there. Downward facing dog. We're going to try to stay on the arms if you can. Now it's straight chaturangas. All right, really good for the full body. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, bend your elbows halfway all the way down. Extra push-ups are always good if you have the energy. Up dog or cobra, take your time, right? Gentle cobra, maybe for your first one. Plenty of time to go deeper. Down dog, if you need child pose, that's always smart too. So let's take, I always say 5 to 10 chaturangas here is a good place. If you do 10, that can be pretty stimulating. 5 is doable. And if you're really feeling good, you add maybe like 3 push-ups each round, 5 push-ups each round. Or you go really slow and you hold your low plank. You're feeling really tight, you hold your cobra longer. Okay, a few more, please. Like I've tried to say, I know the chaturangas can get repetitive, some of the exercises, but man, it's so good for flexibility and strength. It's tension running from your feet all the way up to your neck. And then when you're in your back body, same thing. It's like the back of the neck is releasing as the calves are releasing, lengthening. It's really phenomenal exercise. Remember, we're always trying to teach the body to work together, so less isolated, because that's really how it's designed. If you get on the Nautilus machines too much, where you're kind of isolating little muscle groups, and then you go muscle group, muscle group, muscle group. It's not really how the body works. Everyone's always now recommending the compound exercise like this. So it's really amazing stuff, okay? Listen, next time you're in the down dog, walk your feet to the front of your mat. Take your forward bend at the front of your mat. It's really like our first big hamstring stretch. You did a little in the straddle movement earlier. So you're reaching for your toes, kind of classic here, chaturangas in the forward bend. If you want to add anything, feel free, right? The idea is really back to inversion and forward bend, calm your nervous system for a moment before we get to the next work. So what we're going to do, yogi, spend 20 minutes, right? We're going to do our standing yoga now, and then we're going to be kind of on the ground to finish practice. So, stay focused here for the standing exercises. I want to go through some of the bigger rotations today. We've been kind of low on rotations this weekend, okay? When you're ready, yogis, let's stand up, please. All right, I'm gonna go right for lunge first today. We're gonna go back to rotations. We're very front and back, and then it's lateral. So we're gonna go right for our left foot back, lunge, right foot at the front of your mat. This is our really big twist now,
okay? You bend the knee, you're getting deep in your lunge. Right up, both arms forward. Inhale, right arm back, twist with your core. Feel your core really twist now, okay? Exhale, right hand back. I'm gonna stick with this just to open, okay, the inhale. I'm not gonna switch sides here, where we go left arm back too. I'm just gonna inhale, right arm back. Feel the core twist, twist, twist. Exhale back, right arm forward. Inhale. You can bend both knees a little more for more leg strength. And then exhale. So you're holding your first lunge.
And you're twisting from the abs, but the arms are involved a lot too. It's a back fly, all right? A few more. So what we're going to do is a lunge twist and then the squat twist. This is the very linear twist where we're right through the transverse, but then we're going to go more of that transverse sagittal. So we're going to kind of go at the angle. So do this one really, intense through the clear rotational pattern. Ideally, like I say, 6, you're getting good at it, you get to 15 or even 20, because that's the more muscle memory. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just really simple switch sides. Okay. So it's not a flow class. The right foot steps forward, you shake it out a little bit. I see a lot of you are done there. Left foot steps back, and you just get your second side lunge. You work the lunge for a moment here. Arms forward. Left arm is going to twist open. Okay. Try to really feel it in your core. Try to feel your core, yogis. That's the key. Slow down, connect your conscious awareness to what you're feeling. That's really important. We know that can encourage more muscle growth and stimulation. Right, the EMG, the electromyography, they hook the sensors up to your muscles. And when they give the cue, they tell people to do, they'll take a random study group and they'll take people and they say, do a crunch. Do like 10 crunches, and they measure the electrical function of the muscle. And then they say, okay, put your hands on your abs and really try to feel your abs with your mind also. And then, man, it goes up, I think they said 30%. So that's huge. If you'd want 30% more money, right? You'd want 30% more of your lifespan. 30% is a big percentage that you can increase. It's a third, right? So you try to feel. Don't forget that. That's really key to always remember. If I forget to remind you.
Nice job there, yogis. Let's stand up. I see a few of you done. That's when I start to cue you forward. Let's do an actual squat warm up here. You can't go wrong with squats. It's the most foundational. We've done a lot of type of squats over the time, okay? If there's certain ones you want to do, we've done the sagittal, we've done the transverse. I want a nice round of squats here. I'm going to keep it simple. We haven't done the simple one in a while. You inhale, you bend the knees. If you want extra, you bounce down there. And then you exhale, you get your row in, right, where you pull. Because this was a pull we were just doing. So you pull, whereas dog planks are very push. So you're inhaling into the squat. You're exhaling, pulling, pushing your hips forward. So I want to try to give you about a minute to do your squat in. Work hard here, yogis. We're not going to do too much squatting today. So, like I like to say, I squat every day. I might take days off here and there, but, I do pretty much. Yesterday I had a couple massages. I'm like, with the massage outside, I do like a couple squats, like really get low in my body. I worked out after in the evening. I was squatting in the beginning a lot, a couple to like stretch, get in my yogi squat, and I did like a couple up and down. Squatting every day, right? It's one of the most just basic functional movements of the body. You don't want to lose that ability. And if you did, you lost a little bit. We're working on getting it back. Okay. Looking good. Last few, about 15 seconds left. Nice, Brian. Work that. Nice, Julia. You don't have to go deep, right? That's the key. They have those quad squats where, say you want to make your legs all big and strong. They put like weight on the back and they do this. They rep out like 50. It's really not a lot of rep, but to get the muscles here really big. I don't ever do that, but it works. Okay. All right. Let's keep going here, yogis. I want to get into the big lateral body So you'll see it, transverse is next. And again, another one I'm doing very regularly is the big triple lateral. I like to suggest intertwining your fingers so you keep the hands going. It's the big inhale here, exhale here. Okay, so we did the lateral movement on when we're seated, but this is tightening the tension. Inhale and exhale. And you get into the side body now more than we have yet.
Remember, we are trying to keep the palms together, and we're trying to keep our arms straight to the best of our ability, not rounding our back, not arching the back either. Try to notice if you lean weight to the toes. In this one, we're actually trying to bring weight into the heels more. And then we're also noticing if we kind of like turn, it's just really lateral, okay? So very isolated in the coronal plane. It is triple chain, right? So it's super compound, but I said that word before. I said don't do isolated, but that term is used in many different ways. So we're isolating a muscle chain, so it's like your whole side body, but it's still considered a complex compound exercise, right? Because your underarm has to tension with your lower back and your waist, and then it has to tension with your outer hip down the IT band to the shin. So it's really an amazing one. When you're looking at this, ways to work the side body, this is really good stuff. All right.
Nice job. A lot of you look like you're done there. Okay, I want to get right to the, so this is our second round of squat. And I love this one. I mentioned this is the complex of the transverse with the coronal. So you get the feet really wide, and now you bend and you hold. All right, it's called goddess in yoga. The arms go forward, and you know this when you go down, and then you exhale. Inhale up to the left. You feel your core. Exhale, inhale, and you work in that space, yogis.
Remember, we're not alternating sides. It's a repetitive side here, just like we did in the lunge twist. We didn't go to the opposite side. It's down to the right, up to the left. Down to the right is the exhale, up to the left is the, you got to really feel your core activate well. Do a few really well rather than a lot lacking body awareness. Yogis, this is the practice of body awareness, not fitness. It's taking fitness but applying the ancient yoga principles. Can you slow down, step in the moment, feel more? Be more aware of what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. Nice, looks good, everyone. Now, yeah, you might have to shake out your legs, right? Because you're holding the squat. Remember I said this is the main standing exercise. We only have a few more. We're on the ground already, right? So you're going to shake it out. Not going to do the forward fold yet. Some of you are going there. That's cool. We're going to do it after this round. Second side. So you bend the knees. You got to hold the squat now. You need the strong legs, yogis. All right. It's not supposed to be easy. Keep pushing yourself. Remember your goals at this moment. You want to get stronger, right? So remember your goals. Don't get caught up in the little drama, the difficulty of the movement. Exhale down to the left, inhale up to the right. A lot of times you do this with a weight too. Like if you ever want to throw that in there, some people, you hold a 10, 15, 20 pound weight and you do this too. Okay, because the up to the right is like the lift. Looks good, everyone. And remember, you can bend over a little bit, but not too much, right? So it can be the hinge too, right? So you're in a squat, you can bend down a little, because that's like life, right? You got to bend down like this a lot. Okay, so it looks like one or two is you're kind of really upright, but you can bend down a little. Just don't round. Okay. I did this or late last week. I did 3 rounds, and I had the weight per side, and you can feel it the next day. It's like this kind of unique soreness, up, higher, and down in the abs and the outside. So remember that the twisting abs is our obliques, because we didn't do twisting on the back for our abs. And this is that first really tense one, where this one's a little lighter. Okay. Now you get the forward bend here, yogis. You turn your toes in,
You parallel your feet. It looks like a lot of these are done. 1 or 2 years, we're still going. And now you take the forward bend here. Again, it's kind of like,
you did the lunges, the 2 rounds of squats, the lateral bends. You get a break, all right? If you want to do a headstand or a handstand at the wall, because we haven't had arm weight bearing in the arms in a while, it's nice. You put your hands down, you jump up on the wall, you hold that. I'm going to give you about another 30 seconds here. Or you're just kind of pulling on the floor. Nice, bending your knees a little side to side is great. It's crazy. You go into like Jiva Mukti. This is like Bhakti Yoga. They chant. Our class is an hour 45 there in New York City in Jiva Mukti. And then you chant for 20 minutes first. Then you do like a 2-minute warm up. And then they're like, handstand on the wall. And there's like 40 people in there in a huge room. And there's, tons of elderly people and brand new yogis. And everyone has to go to the wall, handstand at the wall right away. So, remember, you're strong, yogis. All right. Don't get that idea that you can't do stuff and you're weak. Keep believing in yourself and pushing yourself on the good days. All right. So let's keep it going, guys. So you're gonna stay in the straddle. Now I want to do the triangle movement. It's been a while, and this is one I usually do regularly, usually like a warm up, but it is a big movement for the average person. Now I'm in straddle. My right toes turn right, my left toes turn right. So we did the big lateral standing here, right? Lateral flexion. This is lateral tilt, lateral hinge. It's not lateral flexion. Very different. Those two work together. Path of least resistance, arms wide. I drop the right hip down. I lengthen out, and then I hinge. I tap the ankle, back up. I say because that's the contraction. Okay, that's where you got to get strong. Right hip down, lengthen out, hinge, back up. So you break it down a little on the way down, you slow the fall down, and you back up. This is a big movement, yogis, okay? We tried to do a lot of warm-up for it. So let's work here. This is another one you see people using weights at the gym. They'll either have a kettlebell in their top hand, bottom hand, or a weight, but they don't do this much movement. The modern fitness is all leaning towards, keeping your body to move. Dynamic mobility, it's called. So, sometimes you see people in the gym, they'll have a kettlebell in the top hand, right? And they'll go like this. Okay, it's the same exercise that's used in the Olympic weightlifts, but it's more to like really teach your body to move well. Okay, last few on this side. I see 1 or 2 years look done. That's totally cool. Remember, you try to work to 6 reps. In the science, they say that's where the real muscle memory starts. Unless you're doing like heavy weightlifting, you can do like 1 or 2 or 3, and you're still going to get that similar stimulation. Okay, let's do our second side. Take a moment. This is one of our biggest movements yet. Okay, so go ahead. This is peak lateral movement. Right, we're a half hour in, so you're ready. But you'll feel this in your lower back if you overdo it, right? Looks good, everyone. And yeah, you can hold the posture too. I don't mind that. I try to teach triangles regularly every week. We do this style way less. So you're used to being down there. You're used to being upright too, but you're not as used to getting like in between as much. Maybe. Nice, Leslie. Looks good. Nice, Brian, Julia, Dawn, Callie. Everyone I can see looks good there. You're not leaning your chest forward in space. You're going very lateral, okay? So yogis, to close up the standing exercise, we got to do a little bit of balance, right? So I want to try dynamic balance today. It's a little bit different. It's subtle. It's a little bit easier for some of us. But it's important that we take the time, at least to teach this stuff. I tend to do balance like this on my easier days. So left knee's gonna lift, now the feet go together. Now watch what happens. I do bend the standing knee. Right knee is bent, yogis, okay? Hands go on hips, be easier. I turn over to the right, I pause. I feel my inner thighs sweep. My right foot didn't pivot, and then I go open to the left. My chest, navel follow knee, okay?
I pause. You're gonna feel some weird kind of turn. Stand up tall, yogis. Don't start to hunch. Okay, then you go open. And you're trying to stay on the one foot as you turn open. So it's not this one where we go here. You're actually turning your chest. Remember, if you got a bad knee, you got to be extra cautious here. And just to be clear, you don't have a bad knee. You just have you have a knee that's going through some tough times. You know, in yoga, we have this practice called mantra, the practice of the word. You know that book? I can't remember the name of the book. They say in the beginning there was the word, and the word is God. That's the, you know, that is, they call God the creator, right? Really what they're saying is the word is the creator. So if you say I have a bad arm, a bad knee, you are creating that. The yogis really believe that the vibration gives birth to the form, to the matter. So you want to say, I have a good shoulder actually. Okay, even when it's hurting, you tell, you know, okay, let's do the second side. I see a lot of you switching side. I'm going on a rant here, a yoga philosophy time. So you don't say I have a bad arm. You don't say I have a bad knee. I hear it constantly. Okay. A lot of times I'm walking around in the yoga room trying to help somebody, and then they'll say it's my bad arm. And at the time, I won't say anything directly personally at the person. So I'm trying to remind you now without anyone personally. But if you have something going on in your knee here, extra slow, less range, okay? Nice, Brian. That's good job. Slow. Nice, Julia. You know, we do this stuff. Sometimes we like hold the end ranges and you actually can pulse there. They do this with like ankle weights on. They do it with like bands around their thighs in 2 parts. This is like the simple calisthenic form. This can really get a lot more creative and it's really good stuff. So moving balance. All right. I want to do one more dynamic balance here, and then it's a really easy one. So it's dynamic. It basically means movement. I want to hit the hamstring. So we're not doing the hinge practice today. We probably should, but we're going to do Warrior 3 in a moment. So this is the hamstring pulse. Remember, I don't want to see this, yogis. I don't want to see this. I need you to stand tall with the knee back. So I'm going back to my first leg, and I'm going to pulse the heel to the butt. That's it. Okay? Hamstring's going to fire like crazy. I already had you do multiple forward bends. I had dynamic leg swings. You got the hamstring. So let me see now. Nice, Leslie. Pull the belly in more. Nice, Brian. Same thing. Knee back, abdomen in. Nice, Dawn. Don't arch that back too much, all right? That's a bad habit we got to watch out for. Arching that lower back now. Try to point your toe too, because if you flex your foot, you're not doing the double chain, right? So if we point the toe, the calf lights up more. And that's working with the hamstring too. Second side, yogis, let's not have you get cramped up too much here, because if you're not used to this one can get you good. What I usually do here actually, yogis, is I'll kind of do some like half range. So down to the 90-degree angle up. Then I go up and it's like micro. Just so you're clear, you can do both there. Remember that little micro movements are better for strength, and that strength training is better than dynamic mobility training and range of motion training. Just yesterday, I follow, my whole Instagram is I only follow doctors, physical therapists, neuroscientists, psychologists, and big yogis. And, you know, this doctor put out this thing, this physical therapist person, and he put static stretching is overrated, overdone, and done, you know, some other stuff about never should stretch. And, you know, I don't think that's a healthy approach. I think well-rounded approach to the body's good. But we do know that stretching makes muscles weaker, and small movements, slow, are the best ways to get muscles stronger. Okay, so not fast, not big ranges. So just remember that when you're applying your exercise. If your goal is to get strong, less range, slower, more feeling. Okay, nice job there, guys. So we got, I said this was going to be easy. Warrior 3 is pretty easy for someone who's practicing regularly. If there's another balance you want to do, tree pose, standing half lotus, a one-legged chair, that's fine. But this is our hinge today. Go ahead. Warrior 3, please. If you want to do moving, that's fine. We've been moving a lot, so I'm going to have you hold.
Last standing postures, yogis. If you're feeling good, you can get in your warrior 3. You can bend the standing knee and do like a warrior 3 hinge squat up. You're bending straight in your top leg. If you're feeling really good, you can always go to standing splits. You can also do like a big movement in the strong class. We do the knee into the chest and back. I'm just going to let you go here, all right? Last few breaths. Nice, Leslie, a little revolved. Nice. Yeah, you can do revolved half moon. You can do open hip half moon if you're feeling up to that. Just to be clear, we are going to come down and finish like in planks and the last abs, okay? Last glutes. All right, do your second side. I see a couple of you are done there, and then the people who are still going, you slowly exit when you're ready, and you're basically just gonna do your second side. Trying to give you about a minute per side here to really let this one settle in. Make sure you're breathing. Looks good. If you're in the warrior 3, just whatever leg is lifted, look out for the compensation patterns. Let the top hip drop down if you're in warrior 3, okay? Looks good, everyone. Just don't round the spine now. Try to keep the spine longer and pull that abdomen in. Yep, shoulders away from ears, looking good. Nice, Brian. I like that version with the knee up. Nice, Leslie. Looks like you're lifting that leg and a little pulse. That's really good stuff too, unless you were doing it by accident. I don't know if you were shaking or pulsing there.
All right, yogis. Another 20 seconds probably for your second side. You did a long standing sequence there. Nice job, right? We'll make our way down to the floor. You can either do a sun salutation, you can do a yoga squat. We got a small group, right? Only about 6 people today. So I'm giving you more freedom. Yogi squat might feel good here because we did the straight leg forward bends. So you take your final squat, do like your third round, 1 moving, 2 static, now the deep squat. When you're trying to get flexible, yoga squat's always in the mix. Now I want to do a twisting plank. It's been a while since we twist. We did the laterals. We did the twist here, okay, but it's not really like a big one. And it's a hip rotation, leg, more so than core. So I'm going to take you back to plank. I want to do one more really solid round of plank. I'm not going to do side plank today. I'm going to do the rotational one. Remember, it's kind of like side plank on your forearms, but your forearms stay down because your heels go to the right, but your forearms stay down. If you want to do side plank, that's fine. I want to see you guys adapting the practice for where you think you're lacking.
I'm giving a little extra focus to I'm going to do lateral leg raises last, right? So you're going to get another lateral trainer, but I'm not going to do like twist and core on our back today. So we're doing it upright more because a lot of times we're limited on the back how we can twist, but upright you get way more opportunities. Okay, so you're looking good there. And the knees, this is a tough one. You can do it on the knees, but it tends to be more of a tension pull through the lower back. It's not my favorite. So there's not a really great version on the knees here. All right, nice. Let's switch sides when you're ready. Push yourself to your limits here, yogis. It's almost till like failure. They say train until failure. That's how you get really strong fast. So you're in the forearm plank and then the heels just drop to the left. So your inner edge of your left foot should all come all the way down. So that's the adductor. And the outer edge of your left foot here is all the way down. That's your abductor. Those are antagonists. So you are getting some lateral training here too, right? Sometimes we move back and forth side to side here. I love that version, okay? So there's your last plank posture. I do want to take you down to your chest just to get our back body. And I want to do, since we're doing the transverse stuff, this is like our last thing down here. I'm not going to teach a lot of back bends there today, guys. You did your vinyasas. So it's this one here, yogis. We have this muscular fascial line that runs from your opposite left side lat down to your right side glute. It crosses the lower back. So we have to do these trainers that cross the back. Twists are usually the way you do it, right? Arms wide, legs wide. Just to be clear, this is so fine for beginners. This is beginner exercise, okay? Lift your chest, press your pubic bone down, point your toes, engage your thighs. Inhale, right arm, left leg. We do this in tabletop constantly. Right? Same exercise. Okay? Right hand, left foot down after a good 5-10 second pause. Right leg, left arm. Okay, you're still lifting your chest, lifting the right leg and left arm. Okay, then you lower down, and you do it again on the first side, right arm, left leg. Just to be clear, in case you need the demo, what I meant is we do this all the time. Right? You can also do it in plank posture. Let's do a few more side to side. I'm not even going to have you do double today. I'm just going to have you try to get to 6 per side. Maybe you're feeling good. I did this last week and I'm feeling really good. So I did something like 12 or 15 with long holds. Remember, yogis, it's very important. I was reminded last night, I'm going back through this audio book that I just read. It's called Why We Sleep. Yogis, we know that people who sleep better, they feel less pain. It's proven that pain receptors fire less when we're more rested. So say you have an injury, it's one of the most obviously, right? You should rest more, you should sleep more and try to get better quality. But it's the same thing in exercise. They literally refer to it like athletes feel less pain when they are more rested. So say you didn't sleep well last night, your body's going to be more achy. Your pain receptors are firing. Your nervous system functions different. Okay. So just some food for thought, just because it hurts today doesn't mean it will hurt tomorrow or next week. So you just got to keep an open mind. There's a lot of things that can really affect hydration, stress levels yesterday, how hard you worked out yesterday or day before. So, you just keep an open mind. Just because it's not good for you today, you approach tomorrow with a neutral mind, okay? Nice job. That's all I'm going to have you do on your chest. If you want a cobra and up dog, you guys look done. Most of you have been done for a while. Quick child pose will do you good here, probably after the asymmetrical back bends, the symmetrical forward bend. Think of it like another round of yogi squat. So we're here in the end, okay? We did the single leg swings, and we did symmetrical crunches and asymmetrical leg swings. So today, we're just gonna do the opposite, all right? And the back here. So we're gonna swing it around, come to our back. I got 3 exercises, and then you're done, okay? We just did the back. I'm gonna stick away from the glutes today because we did a lot of stuff upright. So you're gonna lay on your back. Let's start here, yogis. Before we did the crunches first, let's start with the leg swings first. If you want to go a little extra, you could do like a block between your feet. Inhale your legs forward, lower back down, exhale up. You can do a little pelvic lift. Remember, this is easier. Do you see how slow and controlled I'm doing this? You're almost done, yogis. If you want more, you lift your head. If you want even more, you lift your arms. Remember that people with lower back pain, crunches are fantastic. You hear people bad-mouthing crunches all the time. There's so much context. You go into a big yoga room and 40 people have back pain, it's It's different. You know, you have to go slower and you have to do less range. And you think you'd actually just hold. Someone coming off like spinal injury, you just have them throw their legs forward a little bit and you hold. We've done that, right? You just lay on your back, arms down, lower back down, hips down. Your legs just go forward and you hold. That's the true rehab stage one. And it's really like one leg, right, to start. But you got to be honest with yourself about where you're at and be okay with skipping some stuff. At the same time, you're working on pushing yourself in other areas. Okay. Now I'm going to go right into the next thing here. This is the twist here. I'm just going to do the micro twist today, guys. So now you release your legs so you lengthen the hip flexor as much as possible. Widen your legs. This one's subtle. It's simple. Arms forward, crunch. Watch. Right hand, left thigh. Left hand, right thigh. Look. Do I ever lower down out of the crunch? No. Just going here. If it's too much, you could do something like this too, right? Knee, hand to knee. We do this one too. It's a micro twist, they call it, not a big one. If you're new to that one, it can be a little awkward. It can be a little restricting. Especially if your lower back or mid back's tight. Right? So, because that's going to always, tight muscles always restrict movement. It's called muscle resistance. Okay. Now we got one more little exercise. I want to get into the lateral leg lift. Okay. So you go right into it. You roll onto your right side. You flex your left foot. You bend your right knee as the bottom knee. Your right arm might go in front of you, under your head. You're just going to flex your left foot, lift it up. Leg lift up. That's it. Don't turn those toes to the sky though, Julia, right? Try to keep, yeah, that's better. So you shouldn't be able to lift the leg too high, yogis, okay? If you know how to add the lateral crunch, you can do that too, okay? That's where the hand goes behind the head and you crunch the elbow toward the leg that's lifting. That's it, Brian. That's it, Leslie. Ooh, nice. You're doing it in side plank too, wow. Remember, lateral crunches, they're very athletic. They're known to make people sore, all right? Sometimes I say sore, and they're like known to like cause like minor injuries. Deep soreness is a minor injury, right? Injury is a word that gets thrown around a lot. That's kind of, I always thought it was being negative. All right, so let's do our second side. You only do one round here. We're just doing a sequence of the circuit core. Okay, you got your final side here, the lateral leg lift. Don't curl into a ball here, yogis. Notice that. You're round, you're in the fetal position. I want the longest body, longest legs, longest spine possible here. So you're not hunching over on your side. It's easy to notice if you're hunching over upright or seated, but can you notice here on the side? Can you notice in positions where it can just be like sneaky? You don't notice. So that's the fourth lateral work of the class, and it's the big abduction. Remember that's the hip stabilizer, the glute medius. It's the outer kind of upper glute muscle, the big dense on the outer hip there. Okay. All right, so looks like a couple of these are done. Some of these are still going. I think it'd be good to take a stretch now, right? Let's do so I chose glute medius there today instead of the glute max. So let's go a hip stretch of choice. Figure 4 might be good. We didn't really do anything like that. Or a Gomukhasana or a pigeon. Just so we're clear, got about 5 minutes left in class. I'm gonna do a stretch or two, and then I'm gonna get you into Shavasana, okay? Try to close your eyes now and settle down. We were pretty busy. We did a lot. So just, come back to the beginning. Remember the breathing practice, the settling. Okay, we'll switch sides when you're ready, please. So you take, another 20, 30 seconds on your hip stretch. I think it was a pretty good day for twisting. You don't always need to twist in the end. We did one on the back earlier. We did seated twist, we did lunge twist, we did squat twist, we did plank twist. We did enough twist. But, if there's another, like a supported position you want to do, like a block under your butt, usually it's like leg release and core release. So if you want to do like a restorative bridge or restorative fish, if you'd like to put your legs up the wall, plow pose is a nice one here. Swing the legs up over your body, deepest forward bend. Even just doing something like a virasana, stretch your front body more if you feel like you need that. What's one more stretch that could do you good here? It can be anything. Frog might be good. Something you don't do as much of. Next week, yogis, we're in the yoga core. We're going to get back to the hip rotation training. We did some of that, but I'm going to, set up this class to really go for hip rotation training. So pivoting and rotating, abducting, adducting. It's really good stuff. We got to bring that back around. It's been a little bit. So yogis, you take your last few moments in the stretch. I got 10 a.m. on the dot here, so we'll go about 5 minutes past. Give you one more minute here, and we'll do a 3 to 4 minute closing meditation. All right. So close up any last physical things you want to do. Remember, you don't have to stretch too much at the end of every class. We did quite a bit of dynamic releasing, standing, and on your back. Okay. Or seated. All right, yogis. So when you're ready, let's get to it. Closing meditation, please.